Hey yo, this is Dash, and today I'm going to be cutting up some ribs. I always see people cutting up ribs and they want to take the ribs and turn them upside down. All you really have to do is just know the bone structure of the ribs and follow the ribs with your knife and you're good. You don't have to turn your ribs upside down and mess up the sauce that you spent so much time working on. Get ready. So, I have a cutting board here. I'm gonna get my ribs, take the ribs, bring them over to my cutting board. I'm gonna cut this in half. Just to make it a little easier for me. And really, the rib bones, I will show you guys, the rib bones go in and down at an angle. You're just gonna stick the rib in between, or stick the knife in between each of the bones and follow it on down and cut the ribs. Just be forceful towards the bottom. This particular customer asked me to cut these ribs up for him, so I'm going to do it. Normally I leave the ribs whole, or I might cut the ribs in a 2-bone, or I would leave them like this where I have 2 bones and this will be 1 serving. But because of this particular event that he's going to, or they're feeding, they asked me to cut up the ribs into smaller individual pieces. So easy peasy, we'll just do that. This order was for 4 racks. So we're gonna take 1 rack, put them in. Here's this. Same thing with this rack of ribs. I'm just going to cut it in half to make it easier, so I'm not holding the entire rack at the same time. But I'm going to feel if my knife bounces off of a bone, I'm going to, you know, move left or right. But I'm pretty familiar with the anatomy of pigs or ribs, so I'm just going to take my knife, and this particular rack, on the small bone side, the bones curve a little bit. On the big bone side, they're a little more straight. So I'm just running my knife down through here, pulling through that piece that's closest to the spine, taking care of it. No need to flip the ribs over. Just make sure you're in between the bones. Now, when I put the ribs into this pan, I'm trying to decide if I'm going to leave them with the barbecue sauce side up, or if I'm going to turn them on the side. I think I'm going to turn them sideways so you can see the meat and the bone. I don't know, the presentation looks a little nicer. I don't know, what do you guys say? Rib or barbecue sauce side up, or should I turn them sideways? What say ye? I like them sideways like this, so we'll do that. These ribs are not cold. They are still warm. I let them cool for about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes. And I'm slicing them up. They're still warm to the touch, but again, they're not hot. You don't really want to cut up your meats when they're too hot. When you cut up your meats when they're too hot, they end up drying out, or they dry out much faster. But here is the first pan of ribs.
Somebody come look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
Wait, I need to change the focus setting. All right, so I wanted to make sure that you guys can see those ribs in all their glory. Thumbnail? All right. Okay, let's get the other 2 racks set up or cut up, and then I have to get these delivered. So again, I'm gonna run my knife, just find a middle-ish rib, just so I'm not picking up the whole rack of ribs, just make it easier on yourself. And let's get these cut out. If you see my ribs are not to the point where the meat is falling off of the bone, I won't say undercook, but I don't cook my ribs to the point where I can pick them up, and like, I want just a little bit of pull on the rib, a little bite on the rib. And yes, that's even with me cooking backyard barbecue, more or less, that's how I like to serve my ribs, with just a little bit of bite on them. I don't want them to the point where they're completely falling apart and mushy. How do you guys like your ribs? How do you like to cook your ribs, rather? I'm gonna show you guys these. Oh, buddy.
Shut up and take my money.
Hopefully, that's focusing. I can't see it because it's too far away and I don't have my glasses on. All right, we're just still going to follow these bones, come through here, cut these guys up. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the reason I'm counting these ribs is people often ask me how many ribs come in a rack. And I normally tell people a 13 bone average, and I won't say 2 out of the 3, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
Ha! The number of the day is 13!
3 out of the 4 here have 13 bones. Now, these are baby back ribs, if you did not know or were unaware. And that 13 bone average seems to hold true. I won't say I haven't had many that are more than 13 bones in a while. So 1 out of these 4 had, was that 15 bones? So above normal, above average. All right, there you have it. I'll show you guys up close and personal with the second rack, or the second pan, and they look pretty good, all of them. The light, I'm right under a light, so, and the camera, it kind of washes out the smoke ring a little bit, but in person there's a decent smoke ring throughout. And when I'm trimming the ribs, I kind of cut close to the bone, so there's a meat side and a bone side. Just helps me to get these done easier. Anyway, thank you guys so very much for watching. Hopefully you guys, say if you learned something, but hopefully guys, you take the same technique. You do not need to flip your ribs over and turn them on the sauce side that you sauce them. To me, that's just really lazy. But again, maybe I have a better understanding of where the rib bone is than other folks. Anyway, thanks again as always for watching. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. I'd appreciate it. Leave me some comments, some feedback down below. Also, tell me about this new camera. Tell me if you're feeling it, if you're liking it, or if you're not. Either way, thanks again. I'll see you next time. All right, clean up, clean up, clean up.
More butter, baby.
Bear with me a moment. All right, I guess just set the